And we talked about starting lineups, and if you look out there, Coach Blair's gone a little smaller right now, and that was whole purpose of that is just for the get back on defense. It has nothing to do with, what he wants, but he's very concerned about the transition ball game, and he wants a group that he feels can get down the floor in transition D.
Well, the Aggies will control. Jordan Nixon with it. Now Kayla Wells going to the basket, off the glass, the first two to the Aggies.
And I think Gary Blair thinks they'll be able to get a lot of driving baskets because DePaul plays so tight that if you make that first good screen, that you'll go ahead and get a gap to the bucket.
A miss on the first attempt from DePaul. And the Aggies bring it back their way. Pitts thought about the drive. And Aaliyah Patty puts the Aggies up 4-0. A&M starting five.
Walked.
Well, a whistle.
Well, they got a foul.
Got a foul before.
On Kayla Wells. She'll be at the line. That'll be Deja Church.
Averaging 19.5 points per game.
We were talking to Coach Greg Brown, who's kind of the defensive coordinator for the Aggies earlier today, and he said typically DePaul will get a shot up within 7 seconds of the shot clock. So about 23 seconds, DePaul's usually putting the ball up in the air.
The Aggies will have to defend right away. First free throw is good from Deja Church.
And watch for DePaul to put pressure as soon as this ball is made. Either make or miss, they typically will pick you up full court.
So rattles both of them home. And here comes that press. Aggies threw it over the top of him to Quadasha Hoppy. Hoppy to the glass, and it's 6-2.
I think the Aggies were a little prepared for that press right there.
Nice call. First time getting through it. Darian Rogers. Whistle, traveling call. Tried to get it to Sonia Morris, but a travel. And one way to beat that press, throw it right over the top and then tell Q, as they call her, Quadasha Hoppy, to go to the basket.
Absolutely. Made a nice move, and I love the fact that she gathered herself and go, and here comes the Aggies again attacking this pressure.
And it's Hoppy again, but carried, violation, and a turnover.
This is Hoppy's first game to start, and she's already shown she's going to be offensive-minded and look to take it to the basket. Shocking, she's a transfer from St. John's.
Out of the Big East, the conference these Blue Demons hail from. All the way to the basket. Nice drive by Sonia Morris, the senior out of St. Louis, Missouri. Morris transferred from Incarnate Word from down here in Texas in San Antonio. Wells found an opening, but not long. Got a blocked shot. Aggies get it right back, and Aaliyah Patty has 4.
Now, Aaliyah Patty usually plays the 4, but she's playing the 5 today, and that's so. How big is that when your 5 player steps out and makes that shot?
Nice move down low. That was from Anissa Morrow, the freshman out of Chicago, staying right there at home to play for DePaul. It is a pretty good early pace and an 8-6 Aggie lead. Hoppy, she's finding her way to the basket, got fouled here. She'll shoot 2.
I mentioned again, Aaliyah Patty has the ability to step out, and she's showing Coach Bruno and the rest of the Demons that she can knock down that 3 like it's nothing, and Coach Blair put her in to be the rebounder and defender of the basket. And now you're going to step out and knock down that 3.
Hoppy. Couple of points, now 3 points for Hoppy. 9-6 Aggie lead. Made them both. Quadasha Hoppy, the 2018 Big East Freshman of the Year.
Kayla Wells with a nice job getting back in defensive transition as they tried to throw kind of over the top, able to knock it away as Bakelja was sprinting down the floor.
Lexi held into the key. Well, a whistle, but threw it out of bounds anyway. Either way you dial it up, a turnover.
I'm sure Gary Blair likes the way this game started. One of his current concerns may be, can the Aggies keep this up?
It'll be a fast pace all night.
DePaul practices at this pace every day, where the Aggies, again, don't play this pace, so they don't really practice it.
DePaul, they scored 114 in their season opening win over Texas Southern. Also scored over 100 in an exhibition. Jumper off the mark, but an offensive rebound by Darian Rogers. And now a foul called on Destiny Pitts.
Again, a long rebound off of that. Blue Demons were able to give him another opportunity. And big rebound in the middle of a lot of traffic, and Destiny Pitts picks up the foul.
Bekelja is in the game. Now a three-point shot from Morrow. On the floor for the rebound. Destiny Pitts had it, but then tied up by Deja Church.
I think they're going to check to see if that ball hit the rim. I guess they're saying they changed possession because of the jump ball. But I wasn't sure if that ball hit the rim to get a reset. But Gary Blair and his staff aren't concerned about it.
Caitlin Ammons has checked in for DePaul. Another look at it.
It didn't.
Oh, I did not see it hit the rim.
Yeah. But again, I think they said A&M had enough.
Three-pointer off the front iron by Sonia Morris. Sydney Roby grabbed the rebound. Roby has checked in, the junior, a transfer from Miami.
Now look for the Aggies to go right inside at her.
Step back, Jordan Nixon, and rattled out.
That's going to be 2 on Destiny Pitts, I believe.
2 early ones. Does that mean she'll have to check out?
Looks like Sahara Jones is going to come in for her. That takes a big scoring threat away from the Aggies right there. Can't falter. She's on the floor trying to battle.
Destiny Pitts can shoot from long range, 7 of 12 from behind the arc coming into this game. Sahara Jones checks in. She had 12 in the Aggies' last game on Thursday against Southern. All the way to the basket, but could not get it to fall. Morris couldn't get that layup to fall. Three-point shot is off the front iron. Everybody working for it. Jordan Nixon ran it down.
Aggies hustling, but they're going to need some help on the defensive boards, but DePaul's getting too many shot opportunities.
And the foul, no. Offensive foul charge on Hoppy.
Hoppy just a little bit out of control. Again, that looked pretty deep, but the player held was standing outside the line. I thought she might have been inside of it, but she was outside of it. But the Aggies are just a little bit out of control right now, and it's going back. And again, defense, I wouldn't be surprised Gary Blair wants to get to that 5-minute mark and get a timeout soon.
Easy basket by the preseason All-Big East selection, Lexi Held. 2-point game. Approaching the midway point of the first quarter. Jordan Nixon to the glass. Right around the defense.
And here's DePaul already back, but like I said, that's what people are used to Jordan Nixon doing, taking it to the hoop.
Ammons couldn't get that to fall. Jones, the Aggie rebound.
Jordan Nixon very smartly just walks it up, because I think if she crosses half court, mid court any sooner, they look to double team the ball. She allowed all the defenders to get past her before she crossed.
Tried to get it to Roby, deflected, tipped away by Lexi Held, and that will take us to our first break of the evening. Expecting a good one, a nice early start. Jordan Nixon to the basket, and a 12-8 A&M lead.
Basketball was being played, but it was a great ball game. And then, of course, Aggie fans will never forget 2018 when Kennedy Carter knocked down a winning shot with 3 seconds left for the Aggies.
Roby, the putback. A&M up 6. Yeah, that 2018 second round NCAA tournament victory, the Aggies over DePaul, in which Kennedy Carter hit the game winner. Carter had 37 in that game. A&M trailed by 17 in the third quarter. Came all the way back to break the hearts of the Blue Demons. Jones missed badly on a three-pointer, but tries another one. Roby trying to get the rebound, tried to save it, but over to DePaul. And now a turnover. Kayla Wells comes up with it for the Aggies.
Right now, DePaul has 4 turnovers, and again, I just think that's part of their game plan. They know they're going to turn it over at that pace, but give the Aggies a lot of credit for getting back and forcing them to make it. Sydney Roby really being a force inside early on for the Aggies.
I saw her on opening night, and I liked the athleticism and displaying some of it there with a spin move. 3-point shot here, missed everything except the glass. That was from Sonya Morris. Nixon brings it up and slows it up. The numbers weren't there.
And I think that's what Gary Blair wants. Get it across, get out of the pressure, and then run our offense, and then get back on defense. A whole lot of running involved in that, isn't there?
Where are you at? Turnover. Errant pass by Jordan Nixon. Firing away and connecting Darian Rogers, the sophomore out of Roselle, Illinois.
Type of team you'd love to play for. There's no such thing as a bad shot. You're the trailer. I think you fight to become the trailer, so you can just throw it, shoot the three.
Get that kick out pass, yeah. Hoppy trying to answer with a three, and nothing but the cords. Foul on a cut to the basket by Sonya Morris. Foul was on Jordan Nixon.
Again, as we said, you know, Aggies get it across half court, then take their time. But right there, simple little flex cut for Kudashi Hoppy as she cut along the baseline. Nothing fancy, but it worked because she got a wide open shot. Come back down on the defensive end, and DePaul does nothing fancy. It's basically a give and go. You throw the ball to the wing and you cut to the basket. And if you turn your back, the ball's going to come back to the cutter, and that's what happened. Jordan Nixon turned her head for a second, picked up the foul.
And Morris sank the first free throw. Got them both. Checking in, Dee Bekelja.
Jada Malone's in the ball game. Gary Blair just trying to keep that 5 player, whomever it is, fresh with this pace.
It's going to be a long night. Nixon will give it to Hoppy. Nice behind the back dribble and the free throw line jumper. Hoppy has 9 points already to go along with 4 rebounds. Sierra Jones went high to grab that one, and A&M is looking for a double-digit lead. Outside, Kayla Wells. Off the mark.
You know,
whistle.
Sorry, go ahead. But the last thing Gary Blair wants the Aggies to do is to get in a straight-up running game. He felt like even though they won last year, that's what happened. Is they played, you know, DePaul's pace the entire game. And this time, like I said, he wants to get back on defense but control the pace on when they have the basketball.
Last year, the Aggies beat DePaul by 2, 93-91.
And of course, trying to, you know, when your opponent's always pressuring you and they're always running the floor, the first thing you want to do is hurry up and get back down to the other end and try to score.
And Anise Amaro connects from the free throw line. Just when A&M tries to stretch out that lead, DePaul Gets a couple of quality possessions and gets back into it. Hoppy so quick to the basket and then try to pass outside to Mackenzie Green. Too high, turnover.
Again, she did everything right, just like you said. Unfortunately, that pass because Mackenzie was wide open. The Aggies are really doing a nice job on spacing on the offensive half court.
Miss, but another shot at it due to the offensive rebound. Deja Church. Oh, somebody didn't get back, and Jada Malone beat him to the basket, but could not get it to fall. And now thrown too far away from Lexi Heald. And you got the 5th turnover of the night by the Blue Demons.
Yeah, and like I said, I think that's part of their game plan. But, you know, Gary Blair hates those. But yes, occasionally you take that shot deep like the Aggies did. Unfortunately, Jada Malone didn't make that shot. But again, you've got to stay under control, and this is where Mackenzie Green's just going to walk it up.
Green running the point, going all the way to the basket. Got it blocked out of bounds. Blocked by Anissa Morrow.
She chose not to use the screen set by Jada Malone, and that's why you get blocked. You know, when Coach Blair sends those big post players out there to set that high screen, I'm sure he's going to say, please use the screen.
Nice inbound play. Kayla Wells. 4 points for Wells now. Trying to answer quickly. DePaul, like you said earlier, they're not going to take too much time off that shot clock. Their possessions will end in a hurry.
There's about a 9-second, yeah, there's about a 9-second differential. But I'm sure Gary Blair would still like to only give DePaul one shot.
Sahara Jones, cut off. Jada Malone, kick out to Kayla Wells. And the three-pointer. It's got the Aggies up 9, their largest lead.
Great ball movement by the Aggies. That's your 5 player that's penetrating and kicking the ball out.
All the way to the basket, would not fall. A&M will just run out the first quarter. Gary Blair and the Aggies up 9.
You know, Gary Blair couldn't have drawn that quarter up better than it turned out. He's controlled the pace. They've done a great job on offensively, but most importantly, they've gotten back in defensive transition.
Coming back for the second quarter of action. The Big East against the SEC, the Blue Demons against the Aggies. Dee Bakelja is the veteran in the DePaul program. She played well in that game last year, and Bakelja played in the 2018 NCAA tournament game here in College Station between the Aggies and Blue Demons. Jordan Nixon sizes up a three-pointer, first double-digit lead of the night for either team. It's the Aggies by 12.
I'm glad when those little videos that we do at the pre-game come true.
Just adding to the highlight reel. Nice jumper by Anissa Morrow, the freshman from Chicago. Morrow, in her Blue Devil debut as a freshman, had 31 on opening night against Texas Southern. Green found an opening. Couldn't find the basket, though. Kayla Wells ran down the rebound. Jada Malone trying to work down low. Got that shot blocked by Anissa Morrow.
Morrow showing at both ends, sprinting down the floor, trying to get herself posted up down low.
3 ball and a nice shot from Lexi Held, the senior out of Burlington, Kentucky.
This team is never out of it. I mean, just the way the pace of play and the way they play, you can be up 20 and all of a sudden in 3 minutes, it's a tight ball game again.
Lexi Held making her 59th career start tonight. Wells, nice pass to Jada Malone.
You said it, Will. I mean, Kayla Wells has really done a good job off the dribble getting to the basket. That time she made the nice pass to get the assist.
The pace was quick in the first quarter. I think it's quickening here in the second half.
Well, and that may be a concern. I know I keep harping on this, but Gary Blair doesn't want to get the Aggies up and going. And as he called it today, it's kind of your ego takes over.
A rip from Sonia Morris goes up the floor to Held, and Held now has 7.
A rare mistake by Jordan Nixon. I mean, again, you said she ripped it, but George just put it right out in front of her, made it easy.
Mackenzie Green running the point. Tried to use the pick out pass, Kayla Wells. Sahara Jones, that's a good rebound, fought for it, grabbed it, and she's going all the way back to the basket. Tried to save it, Jada Malone on the baseline. It goes over to the Blue Demons. They're up quickly. Trying to go off the glass is Sonia Morris. So a 5-point game. Was a 12-point Aggie advantage. Now DePaul back within 5.
Very quickly too.
7 to go till halftime. Mackenzie Green, block shot. Anissa Morrow, hard to take it to the basket on her.
Yeah, I mean, Anissa Morrow's doing it at both ends, and she's really doing a good job defending. And there's Mackenzie Green, thinks she has a clear path to the goal, and Anissa Morrow, who comes over and makes that good defense. And she's only 6'1". You say only 6'1", but, you know, she's playing on the perimeter most of the time.
Jordan Nixon showing the range. Held, working on Green. Wanted to throw it back outside, instead threw it into the Aggie bench.
The Aggies have been going big for a few trips down the floor. Jada Malone and Aaliyah Patty were both in the ball game. Kadasha Halpy's now in the game to go back to the more smaller lineup that Gary Blair started with, even though Mackenzie Green didn't start, but she's still on the floor.
Oh, and remember, Destiny Pitts picked up 2 quick fouls early in the game. We haven't seen her since.
No, he won't put her in this half.
So Aggies will await her return and try to keep her out of foul trouble down the stretch.
Credit Kayla Wells right there for really going hard off that after the basketball, and it forced Kayla Caudill to, when she was going out, thought she had it easy, saw it getting in a foot race with Kayla Wells, had to do a little spin and stepped on the inbound, on the out of bounds line.
Turnover, DePaul up the floor quickly. Bekelja couldn't get it to fall. Morris, a couple of tries at it. Got it to go.
Again, DePaul's just relentless on those offensive boards. They had 3 players that just followed up and only 2 Aggies.
Sonia Morris has 8. Nixon connected on a 3-ball a moment ago. Couldn't get this one. That was off the front iron. Nixon hit the deck on the defensive end, hit the floor hard. Aggies get a loose ball. Nixon's just fine. She sends a pass back up floor to Hoppy. Mackenzie Green's got an open look.
I think this pace is getting to the Aggies right now. They need to really try to slow it down on the offensive end. Gary Blair, I think, is just trying to get to this next media timeout.
Yeah, got to get under 5, and it is coming shortly. But yes, the pace is maddening, and Mackenzie Green is not slowing it down. This will allow some of the Aggies to catch their breath. She'll go to the free throw line.
Very fortunate right there, because believe me, Mackenzie Green got the long rebound and went ahead and forced the action. The other 4 Aggies stayed in the backcourt. They were already taking their little break right there. But like I said, Will, you said it very well that they needed this blow right here on this foul.
So Green will shoot. Green, the junior from Manville, Texas. She started the season opener against A&M Corpus Christi. Back ironed the first try at it.
I'm not sure what Gary Blair is talking to Roy Gilby, the official, about, but he's pointing. I think he's somewhat happy.
Green got 1 of 2.
He was making this point pretty much during that entire time that those free throws were being shot. That's a walk.
Yeah. Took too many steps before letting go of that pass. That was on Darian Rogers.
And I'm shocked. Destiny Pitts can bring this timeout, but Destiny Pitts is checking out. But the Aggies still stay in control, 35-28 with 4:58 left in this second quarter on that shot.
An NCAA tournament classic. And the Aggies and Blue Demons had a fantastic matchup last year, both as ranked teams. 93-91, it went to the Aggies. This is the 7th meeting between the two. It's not a long history, but some really good ones. And a pull-up jumper by Jordan Nixon.
That timeout couldn't have come at a better time for the Aggies. You can just see they look a little fresher on the floor.
That's Bekelja right there on the jumper. Couldn't find the range.
Q Hoppy with a real nice, smart play. Realized she couldn't get the rebound, but tipped it up high to her teammate, Aaliyah Patty, who was standing right next to her.
Nixon wants a three-pointer this time. Nice stroke, and a timeout called by Doug Bruno.
He's seen enough. I think he's seen enough in number 5, too, Jordan Nixon. But he could probably call his good friend Bill Finley at Iowa State and ask him that same question. Q Hoppy finds Jordan Nixon, doesn't even hesitate, and just knocks that ball down. And again, Jordan has just expanded her game because last year she was a court leader, she was a floor leader, and everybody knew she had the potential, but I don't think anybody thought she'd turn into the shooter that she's become.
Nixon now 13 points, Tap. She is 5 of 8 from the floor. She made 3 3-pointers. Lead is back to 12 for A&M. That matches their largest.
You know, she's making a lot of those shots from way out there.
Way downtown. Lost on defense, and Darian Rogers beat the Aggies to the basket. Back door, couldn't find her.
And that's what a veteran coach does. You call a timeout because you're frustrated.
That is a heat check, and she's still on fire.
I can't even get it out that I'm talking about. You know, Doug Bruno calls a set play coming out of the timeout, and it's successful. And then Jordan Nixon comes back and just knocks it down.
And it's a tie ball.
No, I think they have a foul.
Or is it a foul
call?
call?
I think
You're
they're
right.
going to get on Bekelja.
You're right, Tap. They got Bekelja. The whistle not for a tie in possession.
And there again, Morrow, one time she's missed a shot tonight, and Aaliyah Patty and Bekelja fighting, but I think similar to some Aggie football fans might say dual possession after their game Saturday night.
Too soon.
Oh, sorry.
Nixon, spin move, starting to put on a show. And that is just incredible. Jordan Nixon is flat out taking this basketball game over.
You know, I'd say it was deja vu all over again because we kind of showed that in the preview. But she stayed on the preview. She stayed on the right side. That time she added just a little bit more to it. She still had the spin, but then she used the rim to protect the ball, and then uses her left hand to finish on the other side.
A spin move and then right through 2 defenders, and she completes the 3-point play. The A&M lead now 16, and DePaul needs an answer. Back iron on a jumper from the paint from Morris. Offensive rebound. That's from long range, and Darian Rogers, sophomore, connects.
Again,
Aggies almost got a steal. The DePaul almost got a steal, but the Aggies retain possession. Kick out pass, Kayla Wells. That won't find the bottom of the net. On the floor for the rebound. Now that is a jump ball. That will go over to the Aggies.
Both teams playing extremely hard, going after all loose balls, but what I was trying to say earlier is you can never count this DePaul Blue Demon team out because they can go on quick runs if you're not paying any attention. You can't get lost in the fact that Jordan Nixon's put this team on her shoulders and everybody's all happy. Then all of a sudden you look up and DePaul scored 8 in a row.
Nixon 19 points in the first half. Another backdoor cut, and the Aggies a little lost on it. It's Darian Rogers.
And that's 2 in a row and the same play on that backdoor cut.
Hoppy. Rebound to Rogers. Pull-up jumper. And Morris connects. You said it, Tap. DePaul. Little 6-0 spurt here, back within 9.
Yeah, Gary
Making
Blair.
a 7-0 spurt.
Gary Blair still has a timeout to call this half. I'm sure if this next possession doesn't go well, look for a quick timeout from him as soon as he can.
So 7 unanswered by the Blue Demons, right back in it. 2 minutes to go until halftime. Kayla Wells pulls up for the baseline and found the bottom of the net. Morris lost it for a moment. Offensive rebound. Rogers lost it as she went up. 3-point shot, no good. Offensive rebound. Morris wants a 3. No good. And now Destiny Pitts back into the game after early foul trouble. Grabs the board. She's going to the basket. That got swatted out of bounds by Morris.
I'm sure Gary Blair is trying to say, let's slow it up. Gary Blair making a few substitutions. Sydney Roby and Sahara Jones checking back in. He's getting Destiny Pitts out so she didn't pick up that 3rd foul before the end of the first half.
DePaul will do the same. They've got Anissa Morrow back in. Morrow has 5 blocked shots already. Whistle as Kayla Wells was going to the basket. May have got Morrow.
That's only the 4th foul. Texas A&M has 0 fouls in this quarter for the Aggies.
Thrown away. Aggie turnover. Bekelja to Morrow. And Morrow called for the offensive foul, ran over Jordan Nixon.
And you can see Jordan had tried to get that foul called earlier on the last time that DePaul was kind of going out of control. And you can see it here. She's just set up and Morrow just runs flat over her.
A couple of hard falls in this second quarter by Jordan Nixon. Hasn't affected her. 19 points.
Paul looks like they've switched to a little zone here, a little 2-3.
Sahara Jones, that was tipped away. It'll stay with A&M. Under a minute to go till halftime.
There'll be 14 on the shot clock.
DePaul gets Kayla Cottle in, junior out of Vernon Hills, Illinois. A whistle. And Bekelja.
Oh, some kind of blood.
Has something on her leg that they'll have to clear up. Looks like a stoppage in play. Get a wrap on it. 11-point Aggie lead as we close in on halftime. A&M led by 9 after the first quarter. Got the lead out to as many as 16 here in the second quarter. As Tap told you, DePaul never out of it. They can shoot, they can score.
Now the Aggies are only going to have 9 seconds on this shot clock. That's one of the, I guess, the pitfalls of that. Got a little break, but now all of a sudden they have their shot clock's a factor.
Jordan Nixon, offensive rebound, Roby, and she traveled as she tried to go back up.
Gary Blair not believing that, bent over, holding his knees, trying to say, Eric Bruton's over going, Coach, I didn't make the call. But to be honest, I think Gary Blair would have liked to seen in this situation, 38 seconds left, Roby kick it back out and run a little more time. Aggies should get the ball back at least for one more shot.
Yeah, we'll get a good look at it. About an 8-second differential, shot clock to game clock. Bekelja. Morris. Lost. A&M can take the final shot of the first half. Mackenzie Green. Kayla Wells. Sahara Jones back to Wells. Fire away. Back iron, no good, and that'll take us to the break. A fast-paced first half. And an Aggie 11-point lead. But they do need the breather, Tab.
They do, but again, I'm still saying it's 48 points at halftime, but really I still think A&M's done a pretty good job for most of the game so far of controlling the tempo when they have the basketball and not allowing themselves just to get in a foot race up and down the floor.
Aggies by 11. Back in a moment on the SEC Network.
That I love is the Aggies have 10 assists to only 6 for DePaul.
And DePaul scored 114 in their opening night win, and then 87 in their second game. So you can see with 37 points at halftime, they're well behind their pace, just going with scoring defense right there. And a step out of bounds by Quidasha Hoppy. So an early turnover in the third quarter for the Aggies.
Now, Coach Bruno started the second half in that 2-3 zone, what he ended in, trying to, I guess, slow down the shooting, the outside shooting.
Held unable to connect. Aggies tried to get a pass down low to Sydney Roby. Went off her hand and out of bounds. So 2 possessions, 2 turnovers for the Aggies in the third quarter.
Gary Blair was trying to get him to push it right there, but he still wants him to push it under control and make good decisions. Don't get out of control. Kayla Wells, a little bit out of control right there.
Steal by A&M, tipped by Hoppy, gathered by Nixon. Nixon going all the way to the basket, and that went in. Looked like it just fell in and popped out. Roby the rebound on the miss by Morris.
Roby hadn't played a whole lot of minutes, but when she's in, she's just dominated the boards on both ends.
It's out of bounds, last touch by DePaul.
Both teams trying to work up a sweat right here. You can see they're both a little shaky to start this second half.
Immediately, DePaul will get Caitlin Ammons in here in the second half.
And I think it's in response to, Sydney Roby really getting all those rebounds.
Destiny Pitts got an early foul trouble, but she's back in the game. Behind the back pass, went out of bounds. That's the third turnover of the third quarter by the Aggies, and we're only a minute or so in.
Most frustrated Gary Blair has been this whole game because, you don't try the behind the back pass. You're struggling right there, and Quidasha Hoppy just tried to make a little no-look pass, and unfortunately she hit the first row of the stands with it.
Ammons wants a three-pointer. Off the front iron, off the bounce. Pitts got the rebound. Wells going to the basket.
And they count it.
That did count, an and one for Kayla Wells. She's going to the line.
And this is where you see Kayla Wells has really grown over her career. So you can see she's going to go hard, and she kind of just ducked that shoulder in to make sure there was contact, and she's still strong enough to finish with the nice touch to have this possible three-point play. Probably a year ago, certainly a year and a half ago, Kayla Wells wasn't capable, strong enough, and quick enough to make that play.
Missed the free throw, and Wells with 11 points. Aggies nearly had a steal. Three-point shot. Rogers. Wells went high for the rebound. It was loose. Pitts grabbed it. Nixon up the floor. Trying to find some space.
Hit the trailer.
Down low to Roby. Second chance. She'll go to the line.
And I love Sydney Roby's face. She just keeps that stoic face, as I said, and she plays hard, and she's just dominated. But you can tell she was a little frustrated herself for not giving herself a chance to make this three-point play. She'll be shooting too, but she knows she had 2 opportunities there to get a bucket.
Back iron. Roby 4 points at the moment. 5 rebounds. Missed them both.
He's 0 for 3 in free throws to start this second half.
Turnovers and missed free throws. Gary Blair
And
maybe
bodies.
shaking that head over on the Aggie bench and hitting the floor. Kayla Wells and Darian Rogers.
Fans not liking that. They think that Rogers is kind of the one that fell on top of Kayla Wells and caused them all to fall.
But they got Wells with a foul. That's tipped away, out of bounds. Tipped by Jordan Nixon. It'll stay with DePaul.
No, they're going to get a foul on Jordan.
Oh, they got the foul.
Coming
Got
across.
it on the hand.
That'll be her second. They even said she was shooting.
All right, so 2 free throws for Lexi Held.
I think Jordan thought she was going to get a little help there. She didn't really work to get back in front, and then she had to reach just to try to stop that layup.
Got the first. DePaul tonight, 7 of 7 from the free throw line. Make it 8 of 8. They remain perfect.
And they're going to keep the basketball here.
There's a foul on the crash into the key.
And they're going to I think they're going to check the replay to see if it was flagrant.
Was it on Roby?
Yep, they're going to get Roby, and they want to check to see if maybe she threw the elbow. I guess an elbow to the face.
So a little bonus for DePaul. 2 free throws. They're going to get the ball back.
And they could, you know, again.
Do you add to it if there's a flagrant?
Yeah. Again, the officials will look at the replay, and I'm sure as they make their decision, they'll let us know.
Doug Bruno going over what he wants from the Blue Demons. 36 years at DePaul. As Tapp told you earlier, a player for Ray Meyer and the Blue Demon men's team. And a replay on that foul by Roby, which they are checking to see if it's flagrant. Is an elbow in there? It's kind of up high.
Yeah, they may get her on that. Just again, because, you know, if you step off, you step off. But it kind of looks like, I mean, I'm not going to say it was just, I'm throwing an elbow, but that's one of those where if she would have stepped more, and so her arm didn't look like she was just as extended, I'd be shocked if they don't call that.
Yeah, right, kind of into the neck.
Into the chin, bottom of the chin,
yeah,
almost.
Bottom of the chin of Morrow.
You know, I think sometimes, and I apologize, I keep bringing football references into it, but I think over the years we've come to expect targeting. You know, when they first started the targeting rule, we didn't believe any call. You know, they were all wrong.
Well, I'm not sure. A lot of people do now.
Yeah,
So.
I don't know. I feel
I don't
like,
know if it's gotten any better.
Well, I think now they expect it to be upheld most times. You know, and
yeah.
But I actually think the officials are being a little more. The officials are being a little more like forgiving sometimes, realizing okay, but. You know, even if to me, it's just sometimes, even it's incidental, but you've led or whatever, it's targeting, and I think that's why I think this will probably be a flagrant right here.
Now, targeting is a player safety movement in football. This type of foul, it's that version of it in basketball.
Right. Because, I mean, even if you're a post player and you catch the ball high and you lead with your elbows and catch somebody in the face, that's a flagrant foul. You know, but in the old days, that's how you taught people to back people off of you. Catch the ball and you start with your elbows,
yep.
You know, and that'll back them off. And there again, we look at the rule book. Or intentional, they call it, sorry.
So you're looking at the excessive, hard, and or unnecessary contact.
And I think that's
and then right below it,
yeah.
Swinging an elbow. They're going to go talk to Gary Blair.
Now they're going to take a timeout.
So we'll take a break. We'll get it sorted out on the other side. Well, we think, the call of an intentional foul on Sydney Roby stands, to continue with the football terminology on these reviews.
Yeah, but I don't think she's getting, taken out of the game or has to sit out this half or,
No, nothing like that.
Or all that. And I'm trying to get clarification. Usually the officials will come over and kind of tell us, but we didn't hear, they just made it a common foul. So there's no, so Roby, there's no other issue. They'll just get the ball out of bounds.
Okay,
so no
it's
shots.
not intentional. So an inbound coming after making 2 free throws for DePaul. There's the foul. Now, one thing she didn't do was swing the elbow.
Right, she just put it up there.
Yeah, so possibly that's why it's just a common foul. As we get back to action, a 3-pointer fired up by Darian Rogers. Empty possession, A&M with the basketball.
Now, one of the things DePaul has done, you saw they backed off. As soon as A&M got it, or in the first part of the game, they were pressuring Texas A&M. Now they're backing off and dropping back into the 2-3 zone because they feel like historically A&M has struggled against zones.
Roby got to the basket.
But when you shoot the ball like A&M's been shooting, you got to go out and contest shooters. It leaves your post player one-on-one down low.
Held going to the basket. She was fouled by Sahara Jones.
As I said, you got the player. Look, Sydney Roby, there was almost no other white jersey in the picture. It's almost a 4-out, 1-in. And she's able to pin that player down low and get the ball to the basket. Nice entry pass and nice recognition by the Aggies.
I just think she moves so well down low.
Again, well, she's not new to the college game coming from Miami.
Right. A Milwaukee native, Sydney Roby. Held missed the first free throw. Got the second. DePaul has fired up 5 3-pointers here in the third quarter, missed them all.
Now, Coach Bruno said, okay, last time that was way too easy. Pressured a little bit, but they're still back into the 2-3 zone.
Destiny Pitts back in. That went over the goal standard, behind the glass. A turnover there.
That was a little deep. I think Destiny's, a little frustrated right now. No points so far. She picked up those early 2 fouls. Didn't play a lot in that first half. I think she's trying to contribute to this team. I'm sure Gary Blair would have liked a few more passes to happen in that possession.
Held got fouled. She'll go back to the line where she just was. Made 1 of 2 a moment ago and 2 more coming.
And that's 2 Jones on consecutive defensive plays by Sahara Jones, getting beat off the dribble by Held and then trying to recover, just having contact. Again, she's got to work on making sure she doesn't take that initial fake off a dribble penetration. Q Hoppy back on the floor for her.
Held now has 11 points. Make it 12. She's 3 of her last 4 from the line. Ten-point game. Jordan Nixon ran into Held. It was a loose ball. Nixon grabbed it. Hoppy from the corner. Size 1 up. Back to a 13-point Aggie lead.
Nice unselfishness by Kayla Wells because she really had a good little short jump shot but kicked it out to Hoppy.
Now Nixon's got a steal. Ran into Held. She's fouled.
Held kind of fell. That's kind of like the interference call. You just go ahead and tackle somebody before they get the open, touchdown. But there's that quick replay right there where Wells got the assist by kicking it out to Hoppy, who had nothing but the bottom of the net.
Again, steal.
Yeah, and you can see Held just purposely goes in going for the ball, but she knew she was either going to foul or come up with the steal.
Nixon 19 in the first half, looking for her first points of the third quarter. Hoppy, step back, almost fell. Rebound tomorrow.
Guess who took that charge?
Well, I was looking at the ball, and I saw that it was Bakelja
Ran over Jordan Nixon.
that ran into Jordan Nixon, yeah. Nixon has hit the deck a few times tonight. Doesn't seem to bother her one bit.
I think she enjoys getting run over for a charge. Fires her up. She'll probably come down and hit about 4 3-pointers now.
Wells got that block. That's Morrow's 6th block of the game.
Again, Coach Bruno, the way he plays his defense, it's so aggressive up top that he leaves Morrow back there to defend it. And you said that's 6 times she's blocked the Aggies.
Inbound to Hoppy. Nice rebound and put back by Sydney Roby.
Again, that's that height advantage Sydney Roby has, and she was just able to jump over and then finish.
Held. The Blue Demons need it. She couldn't find the range. Up the floor. Kayla Wells. The Aggies off and running. She's going to have to put that back, but got it blocked by Held. We'll take it to break, and A&M is up 15. Trying to pull away here in the third quarter. Hard to do against DePaul, though, the way they shoot and score. Hoppy averaged double digits all 4 years she was at St. John's, then grad transferred down here to A&M, came into tonight averaging 8.5 points per game. Originally from Staten Island, New York. Pitts was going to the basket, got fouled by Darian Rogers.
And again, that's just a peak that Wells and Pitts are able to get the ball to the basket because of their shooting, because DePaul has to come out on them and guard them so tightly behind the line that they're able to make one move and they get themselves to the hole.
Pitts, good stroke on the first free throw. So it matches A&M's largest lead, can be a new largest lead for the Aggies if Pitts connects here. Got it. 17, the advantage. Well, DePaul 0 for 6 from behind the arc in the third quarter. They're going to have to find the range to get back into it. Long two-point jumper, but some range there by Deja Church.
They're going to call a foul, I believe, on the inbounds pass as they kind of hooked Jordan Nixon as she was trying to pin the player. And then when they threw it in, she wouldn't let her go. 2 shots. Both teams had 5 fouls with 4 minutes left in this third quarter.
So Nixon looking for her first points of the second half after scoring 19 in the first. So now 20 points for the game, Jordan Nixon.
You know, the Aggies are ranked 17th in the country, DePaul receiving votes. So there's a lot of people around the country looking at going to be watching this score to see if the Aggies were for real.
Well, an early season test for both teams. When we talked to Gary Blair at shoot around today, he said he'll find out more about his team tonight by far than he did in the first 2 contests. Easy victories for the Aggies.
Well, I thought the thing most interesting, 6 of the 9 teams of the SEC lost yesterday.
A rarity for non-conference play. A 3-6 day outside the league for the SEC. So yeah, it shows you better be ready to play, even if it's early in the season, even if the conference schedule hadn't arrived yet.
Destiny Pitts trying to tie her shoe and Gary Blair trying to slow Jordan Nixon up.
Pitts,
it's a
long
new play.
range.
It's a new play. Gary Blair draws up some great plays. Hey, stop and tie your shoe.
Tighten the laces. Off the glass, Morris.
She'll take it.
Well, DePaul needed it to try to get back into it, but they're still down 18. Nixon up the floor. Floater, got it.
She avoided 3 people, kept somebody from coming up behind, and still kind of faded to her left to finish off that shot.
Finding the range on a jumper, Anissa Morrow. Morrow came into tonight averaging 21 points and 9 rebounds per game, almost a double-double. Nixon handling the basketball with 23 points this evening. Foul as Kayla Wells tried to go baseline. That's on Deja Church.
You know, again, it's just Kayla Wells being aggressive, rips the ball over the top of the head of Deja Church, got herself some baseline room, went hard, and Deja Church just kind of grabbed her to make sure she didn't get all the way to the bucket. Jada Malone checking in for Sydney Roby, who gave the Aggie a lot of quality minutes to start this second half. This may be one of the biggest storylines of the season so far. Kayla Wells has really struggled from the line. And she's historically one of the better free throw shooters. And if you look at career free throws, she's probably one of the top 2 or 3 for Texas A&M.
Made 1 of 2 there. Kayla Wells from the line tonight, 1 of 3. Morrow missed everything. Rebound on the catch by Jordan Nixon. Destiny Pitts. Aaliyah Patty's back in the game. Nixon, three-pointer. Heading toward the A&M bench. And run down by Church.
Gary Blair's gone big a lot this half, this quarter, and again, still going big. Got 2 bigs in with Jada Malone and Aaliyah Patty. Because the pace of the game has slowed down, he's been allowed to go back to what he feels more comfortable coaching with some big players.
Shot clock running down. Oh, Jordan Nixon to Jada Malone.
Give the big girl some credit, too, for doing a nice job of pinning the girl. It was a good quarterback to receiver combination there.
A whistle here, and it might be 3 shots coming for Deja Church. Kayla Wells with the foul. Gary Blair and the Aggies 2-0, trying to get to 3-0 tonight. They'll play SFA on November 18th and then tap on Thanksgiving weekend, and actually starting on Thanksgiving Day. Both A&M and DePaul will be in the Paradise Gym in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The 3 opponents for each, the Aggies and Demons, are set. They won't play each other, but they will be out there together in that Paradise Gym.
Probably Coach Bruno and Coach Blair may go have dinner one night together.
Well, maybe at home.
Yeah.
May all get together, every team, for a Thanksgiving feast. Who knows? Of course, you got to play that day. I don't think you can
maybe
handle
the night before
Thanksgiving dinner and game action that day.
I think turkey could be good for pregame, just not a whole lot of it.
Not as much as you're going to eat on Thanksgiving Day.
Not as much as you eat on Thanksgiving.
Well, good point.
Maybe
point.
not some.
And
not
a fair point.
Not the dressing. You know.
No, I can't go without it.
Yeah, well, you know.
There's no dietary considerations on Thanksgiving Day.
Yeah.
Foul was on Morris.
And then what's the what puts you to sleep?
Tryptophan, isn't that what it is?
Yeah, so you certainly don't want them eating a whole lot of tryptophan, having you sleep.
Sleepwalking through the night game.
They'd be like us.
Nixon, the points just mounting.
Aggies up 20.
Starting to pull away.
But it's still, DePaul has this opportunity. You just feel like they can get on their run. But, you kind of see DePaul getting a little tired, too. Of course, they've been having their way, been able to play the whole bench on some of these other 2 games, sort of like Texas A&M has done, probably going 10, 11, 12 deep. Well, A&M's gone probably 8, 9 deep and look to be in better shape than DePaul right now.
Held lost the basketball, ran into Jada Malone, but lost it into the Blue Demon bench.
And Jada Malone was just standing there and ran her over. They didn't call any foul, but the ball just rolled innocently away. See, Malone really didn't do anything, just was standing there. Here comes the double team.
Patty with a nice turnaround jumper from the free throw line.
Coach Bruno's going, I'm trying everything. We've done man, they're going to get a walk.
This third quarter, the Aggies on a roll and just putting DePaul in their rear view mirror. Doug Bruno looking for answers, like you said. Pitts to the basket. Got it to fall. It is a 24-point Aggie lead. A&M was up 11 at halftime.
Coach Bruno can't be happy right now with his Blue Demons. He wants them to play hard. He's probably not 100% sure they are right now. I think they're in a little bit of shock when you look at them.
A&M just taking them right out of the game in this third period.
Of course, the Aggies' next game is Thursday night against Stephen F. Austin.
Formerly where Gary Blair was. For the last 18 seconds of the third quarter, A&M possession. 22-point lead. Pitts gets a pick from Malone. 3-point shot. Oh, man. That will take us to the fourth. A 25-point Aggie lead after 3.
You know, again, the Aggies played with a lot of confidence coming out of that second half, looked to be the team that's in better shape, and that's why that score just grew like it did. But everybody seems to be shooting like every time they touch it, they know the ball's going to be going in for Texas A&M.
Now Destiny Pitts gave the Aggies quite the close to the third quarter, and they roll into the final frame. Starting the fourth quarter, A&M up 25, and the Aggies tonight, the players in double figures, Jordan Nixon 25, Quadasha Hoppy 12, Destiny Pitts 10, and Kayla Wells with a dozen.
You know, not surprising. We talked about Kayla, and she's been doing it. We showed her that she was here in 2018 when Kennedy Carter hit it, but she knows she feels like this is much more of her team. She chose to come back for their super senior season, and so far this season she's been making plays like that, and I know she's glad she made that decision.
A&M outscored DePaul 30-16 in the third quarter to open up this lead to 25 points, their largest. Aggies have hit 9 3-pointers tonight. DePaul in the third quarter went 0 for 7 from behind the arc.
Texas A&M is almost shooting 50% from the field for this ball game right now. You know, they're shooting 43% from the three-point line. You're going to win a lot of ball games if you shoot that well.
Yeah. Currently on pace to top 100. Destiny Pitts, nice catch and shoot from the right side of the key.
You know, DePaul's in that zone, and I don't think they really understand the principles of a zone, because Destiny Pitts just did a nice little cut and flashed into the lane, and nobody from DePaul even looked to see if anybody was there, and it was just far too easy.
Morrow missed, Pitts the rebound. You know, Gary Blair told us earlier today he's going to find out more about his team tonight by far than the first 2 games. He's got to like what he's finding.
I certainly would. Heck, if he knew he was going to get this, he might not have said this was his last year.
Well, you think he's going to rethink things?
I don't know. I think it's been made too much.
I
know. And again, but it'd be if they could play, if Texas A&M could play like this, it'd be a nice send-off for Coach Blair. He certainly deserves it.
Well, last year the Aggies were the SEC champions, finished with an overall 25-3 record. Held got to the basket for the Blue Demons.
Don't think DePaul's going away, and we talked about it early on. They have the ability to score quickly.
Patty, 3-pointer, front iron. Church the rebound. Held, just as you said, from behind the arc. First 3-pointer of the second half. They were cold. Mackenzie Green got loose, so did Quadasha Hoppy.
Nice, smart play by
got
Hoppy.
too far under the basket, just wasn't going to be able to put it up from there. Green will shoot, got it off the back iron.
But look at Hoppy. She's trying to say, hey, we don't have to hurry. We can take our time. I think she just realized it was smart, and ball possession's important right now. We were told by Coach Greg Brown that she's really has the best basketball IQ on the floor. On the team, Gary Blair going to call a timeout. I think he wants to get that across to his team. Hey guys, we don't have to push it up the floor right now.
Let's put the pace in our favor, because by 24 points, the scoreboard is in our favor.
Speech that she made after the game, just heartbreaking.
Well, it captured Aggie land and the nation.
Yes.
I knew what you meant.
Thank you.
Yeah. And Nixon's going to the basket.
Nice hands by Malone.
Yeah, kick out to Kayla Wells. Now she can shoot the 3. She just found the range. Her second 3 of the night on 6 attempts. 15 points for Kayla Wells.
That's a travel.
Morris off the back iron, tipped out of bounds, stays with DePaul.
This 3, and that was Jada Malone's the one that just showed great hands, because that pass was kind of errant and just reached out with her left hand and controlled it, got it to her right and kicked it out to Kayla Wells, who was able to knock out that 3. But the freshman just showing some soft hands.
We were discussing this earlier today too, Tap. At the end of this year, the school record for 3-point percentage here at A&M, it's either going to be held by Kayla Wells or Destiny Pitts. It's a matter of if Destiny Pitts gets to the threshold of made 3-pointers that you have to go in the record book. If she does, it's going to be hers. If she doesn't, highest percentage in school history here at A&M is going to belong to Kayla Wells. But that means you got shooters.
Yeah, and we found out it's 100.
You got to make 100. Right. That's the threshold, yeah. Pitts will probably get there.
Yes.
Pitts will check out.
Especially since, she's starting this season and not coming off of the bench.
And then you throw in Jordan Nixon, who's 4 of 7 from behind the arc tonight. Tried to go long range up the floor. It got intercepted. Back iron. Morris.
Smart play by Wells. She could have had an opportunity, tried to force the action. Just let's go ahead and run some clock. 6:35 left in the ball game. MJ Johnson now in the ball game.
Nixon got it blocked.
5 on the clock.
Wells tried to get her own. But the rebound was by Rogers, and she went all the way to the other side of the floor.
I knew Gary Blair was going to call that timeout. You could just tell DePaul was getting a little momentum. I mean, it's an 18-point game, but you just never know. We talked about the way they can shoot the basketball.
This was a little over 6 minutes left. Destiny Pitts. Like we said, could hold the school record for three-pointers as far as a career by the end of the year. Then she can drive right by you.
And that's what I know I keep saying, oh, that's what Kayla Wells is at it. That's what Destiny Pitts is at it. But it is, and it shows that they've worked in the offseason. They've gotten better shape. They've worked on their game and added different things, because you can't just be a shooter in college basketball and succeed unless you have some great teammates, and they do. But then after a while, they're just going to face guard you and not allow you to catch it. So now you have these other options that you can do, and it just completes your game.
Well, A&M well out in front of DePaul, who was picked second in the Big East this year behind UConn. An impressive early season showing for the Aggies. Doug Bruno knew his team would get tested tonight, and he'll head back to Chicago with more questions.
Again, DePaul's not quitting. They went ahead and extended this trap. They're going basically a 1-2-2 and trying to see if they can get the early trap, putting pressure on the inbounds pass. Kayla Wells is going to have to hold her spot now.
That's tipped away.
A&M really not doing a good job of finding, they got to look for the person that's rolling down once they set the screen. Now they're going to have Sydney Roby set a screen. That's why.
They get it into Roby after she does.
They got to hurry because there was already 2 seconds off the shot clock, though. So they only got 2 to get it across. Barely.
Wells, floater, got it to go.
Coach Blair probably making sure he gets MJ Johnson in the game. She's also from Chicago. Probably knows a few of these players.
Pass down low tomorrow, and she'll go to the line, trying to complete a three-point play.
Really just playing a simple little two-man game, and because the Aggies are defending the three-point play, you're kind of isolated with that two-man, and if you don't defend it well and talk and communicate, we're going to switch, we're going to defend, we're going to go double-team the ball. It was way too easy for DePaul.
Morrow has been impressive in the paint defensively with 6 block shots. DePaul has a double-double tonight from Dorian Rogers. 12 points, 11 rebounds at this point. Steal. And up the floor, Morrow to Rogers. She'll add to that point total, 14 now.
Again, they just slowly, it's still 20, but you just feel like if they get hot, the Aggies have had several turnovers in their last possessions. How can they already be down to... Oh, because it took them a while to get it in. So the clock is running that whole time. It wasn't a dead ball. They made the shot. The Aggies took a while to get it in, and that's the shot clock is running. And they used the shot clock for the 10-second call. By the time they got it to the initial person, there was only 4 seconds that they had to get it across.
Mm-hmm. Turnover by the Aggies.
I think they're going to check. They may check. Nope, they said it's okay.
Held. Front iron.
Remember when we looked at the game last year, DePaul's the one that outscored the Aggies in that fourth quarter to make it so tight. So
did come back. Eventually fell by 2, 93-91. Pitts and Nixon playing catch to get it across and beat the press. But a steal.
They're going to get Roby there.
Aggies got into their half-court offense. Then it was a steal by Morrow, who's been excellent defensively tonight, and Roby fouled her.
J.D. Malone going to check in for Sydney Roby. That's the 3rd foul on the Aggies. No fouls on the Blue Demons this quarter.
Darian Rogers will inbound. Held has it. She has 17 points tonight. Going to the basket. Missed. Hits the rebound. Clears the boards. Jordan Nixon, little home run ball to Kayla Wells. She goes to the basket. Nice shot off the glass. Quickly to the basket.
Credit Jada Malone for a nice screen as Kayla Wells went hard to the basket.
Out of bounds, stays with the Blue Demons. DePaul next will go home to Chicago and face Northwestern. The Wildcats will make the short trip down from Evanston. Might take the L train. Oh, just a short jaunt.
Yeah.
Not sure what the stops are, but
call it the L Train series.
yeah. And then DePaul will head to the Paradise Jam in the U.S. Virgin Islands. The Aggies one more game before they go to the Paradise Jam. That's against SFA on Thursday. Tapp and I will be here for that. 22-point Aggie lead, under 4 to play. Wells got fouled. She's down there for a moment. Get helped up.
You can just hear that thud right there. Kayla Wells driving hard, got hit pretty good, or initially tried to go up for the shot.
Leaned that head into the chin of Deja Church, and that couldn't have felt good either. First you hit the chin, then down onto the floor. Take 2 knocks. And Wells now has 20. 25 tonight from Jordan Nixon, 20 from Kayla Wells. Crowd quieter for these free throws than any others tonight. I mean, that's a true hush over this Reed Arena crowd.
Again, I already talked about Kayla struggling a little bit at the free throw line. You get so accustomed to seeing her knock those down with that free throw percentage that she usually has. Held shows a lot of quickness off the dribble, and she's able to come to that quick stop and then pull back and knock down some shots. Real good ball player.
And she's got 19 points. So Held almost to 20.
Pull it out. You're Gary Blairish, Helen. Pull it out.
And Jada Malone put it back up, missed the shot. Under 3 to play now. All the way to the basket, Morris.
I don't think Gary Blair would have thought that his team would have scored 91 points if it wasn't a tight ball game.
Yeah. You said they could just slow it down here in the second half. They haven't always done that. As you can see here, Sahara Jones going all the way to the basket but couldn't get it to drop.
Remember, they were shooting almost 50%. You know, it's tough to shoot that the entire ball game.
Especially when you put up as many shots as these two teams have.
But I still say A&M did a nice job, and Coach Blair's going to call a timeout to get it to the other Chicago native and give Jordan Nixon, probably that's the end of her night. Here, a nice round of applause from the crowd. KK Green's also a Chicago native, so I'm sure Coach Blair has wanted to get her a chance to play against some of her friends.
Whitney Young High School in Chicago, KK Green.
Saw KK Green and Anissa Morrow give a quick little hug to each other before the game. Fans behind us are still playing.
KK Green, well, the other Chicago native got the rebound. MJ Johnson. But now it's turned over to DePaul.
Both of them working hard.
So DePaul, Northwestern on Sunday, and then Rutgers, Arizona, and Vanderbilt in that Paradise Jam in the Virgin Islands. that they have coming up. A&M will be in the Virgin Islands taking on a different 3 opponents. A&M out there will get Pitt, South Dakota, and Northwestern.
Of course, one of Coach Blair's best friends is the head coach of Northwestern.
By best friends, you mean good golfing buddy?
Yes. I'm not sure if Coach Blair will probably just rent a set if he wants to go play.
In the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, don't carry your clubs. Just go rent a set, you know.
Jay Johnson thought she got fouled. She did.
Joe McCune, the head coach at Northwestern, was at George Washington for years. But you know, everybody's pretty much Gary Blair's best friend in the coaching ranks of women's basketball.
So DePaul, they'll play Northwestern next at home. A&M will play Northwestern on the final day of the Paradise Jam in the Virgin Islands. Johnson connects on the free throw. So Gary Blair got to be pleased with his team's effort tonight. A good opponent. He knew he'd get a test. The Aggies have without question passed it. Up by 22, almost a minute to go.
This is the hard part. You got people that have been sitting on the bench the whole game. They want to come in and make their mark.
Quick shots.
They're going to keep playing tough defense. Yeah. They want Coach Blair to understand they're here to play ball.
Aaron Kindred is one of them in the game for the Aggies.
You know, I think Gary Blair's got to be pleased with his post players today. Whomever he played at the 5, and at times he played one big player, you know, started with Aaliyah Patty there, but Sydney Roby had quality minutes. Jada Malone has had quality minutes, you know, and really got to be pleased with the way he's gotten production out of that position tonight.
KK Green with a pass down low to MJ Johnson. Johnson got the putback.
Was it Johnson or Jones?
Or was it Jones? It was Jones, yes.
You don't have to call me Johnson.
Jumper falls. That was from Morrow. A&M looking to get rid of the final minute, get to 3-0 on the season. Green off the glass, wouldn't fall.
I like the fact KK used the glass. Always, when you're going, jumping forward, always a better opportunity. Try to kill the ball off the glass than try to make it just right over the rim. Held has really impressed me with her ability to get to the basket tonight. She has a quick first step, crossover.
Well, one of the differences tonight, the three-point arc. Behind it, DePaul was just 4 of 23. A&M hit 10 three-pointers in 24 attempts. And the final 10 will run off. 95-75, Aggies by 20. And Tap Bentz, Gary Blair knew he'd get a test. I don't know if they got an A, maybe they did, but they certainly passed it.
I give them an A- because again, probably a few turnovers, but that's the kind of game DePaul makes you play. They're going to try to force you into turnovers and make a tempo that you don't want to play. But I think the Aggies answered the call, played great defensive transition early, got in the flow of the game, played their tempo on offense, and that was and then again, you shoot almost 50% for 3 quarters. That always helps.
The Aggies win their 16th straight here at Reed Arena. Tonight, 95-75, of the Big East DePaul Blue Demons. For Tap Bents, I'm Will Johnson. Thanks for joining us. Producer was Alyssa Killebrew. Our director was